Okay, so let's take a look at how we can use CockroachDB and Hasura to have the connection, and then you can use the Hasura for creating your GraphQL API. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign up to CockroachDB. So go to Cockroach Labs, click Start Instantly. Now here you can see the CockroachDB serverless, where you can see you will have to click on this free option. Click on Start Instantly. Then the next step would be to register, right? So you can use your email. Alternatively, you will have to use Gmail or Microsoft or GitHub account. So these three options or your work email. You pick what works for you, right? Then once you set up your CockroachDB, you can go to your dashboard that generates within CockroachDB. Now I completed this process separately, so you'll have to check that. However, once you do the setup, which is for the free account, you will have dashboard that looks like this. Now here you get options like your SQL username, you will get ability to create a database here, and you get option to generate the password, right? Once you do that, you have to connect this to Hasura, right? So to do that, you can go to Hasura. Now here you can click on login or get started. So let's say you click on get started. Here you will have to again create an account, right? Use Gmail or GitHub. You can also use option to sign up using your own email. Once you do that, you can then go to cloud account. Now cloud account will look something like this. By default, it will generate your cloud instance on AWS, right? It will give you this admin key along with your temporary API endpoint, right? Next thing, from this point onwards, you will have to click on launch console, and it should open in your typical API tab, right? Here it will also show you one demo endpoint that will make use of any database that is available. I already connected it with one of the PostgreSQL database, so it is showing that part. So if I run the query, it should show me the output from that database, right? Now our main intention here is connecting CockroachDB to Hasura. So I will go to data tab, right? Here as you can see, I already have two databases from Postgres side, right? So one I created and one I connected to EDB, right? Now in data manager, you will have to click on connect database. Then I have option to connect to existing database. Here let's say I choose CockroachDB HR demo, right? So this will be the display name, nothing fancy about it. Then you have driver, pick CockroachDB here. Now the thing is, you are not allowed to use connection parameters, so we are kind of limited with that. Then you have environment variables that we are not going to use, right? So you are left with database URL option. So this format you can easily get through CockroachDB dashboard. Simply click on connect. Then you have to choose your SQL user from CockroachDB, right? You can also add new user. Then you can add database. So HRDemo is the database I created. Then you have connection string. This is what we need, right? But considering it will require the full URL like this, you will have to check that, right? So here you can see the option for you to connect like that. You will have to enter your password here, right? You can even regenerate your password later, so don't worry about it. Even if you see mine, it won't hurt me because it is test account and you can generate your own account as well, right? So let's see, I created this, right? So I just entered the password here, rest of the query as is. Now what I will do is I will go to Hasura and paste this. Then I will try and connect. So root certificate error. So I will have to take care of this part. So to do that part, I will have to go back to CockroachDB. Here you can see download cscert. So here you can copy this. Then we will go to terminal. This you have to do only once, but still you have to do it. Now hit enter. So it downloaded that particular file, placed it in a roaming directory of your app data, right? It has pointed out that it is specific to PostgreSQL, as that driver works with both PostgreSQL as well as CockroachDB. You can close the terminal now. Next thing would be going to my Hasura connection. Click on connect. Here again it will tell you that root certificate error, right? So let's try and see if it allows us any other options. So connection string here, no. So environment variable, we don't have that option either. So currently this is in beta, so we are kind of limited like that. So I managed to put everything perfectly. So here please make sure to not use SSL verify full, right? So I will remove that particular part, right? And then click on connect, because that part is one of the reason that SSL error was there, right? So here you see data source added. So we have our CockroachDB instance being connected here, and you can even see that, right? As you can see, if you click on view database, it will tell you that there isn't anything there which is correct. We don't have anything there. But if I want to create a table, I can go ahead and create table using Hasura as well, right? So up to this point you can see that you learned how to connect CockroachDB cloud instance to Hasura Cloud, and you managed to import that particular connection to Hasura's data manager. Now next thing would be your CockroachDB and Hasura Cloud would together allow you to create a table. Then once we have the table, we can also generate one GraphQL query, right? So we are pretty much set on that. So for now, up to this point, I hope you managed to make the connection between the two, and you are now able to access your instance on Hasura. Okay, a few more things to add here. Once you establish the connection to your CockroachDB within Hasura, what you can do is you can click on your data source. Here you can choose to create schema. If you click on public, it will allow you to create table. So these two things you can keep in mind. At the top you can also find notification that will point to this exact public page, right? And your data source are always connected and shows on the left hand side of the sidebar, right? So if you want to do anything, you can click on that part. Also, one more thing, you have permission options here that you can check out, right? So go to your CockroachDB connection, click on permission summary, then you select insert, update, delete commands, and also set the role to a user, right? So if you added any other user than the default one, you get to play with this, right? So one more thing, you can also check the schema if there is any. Currently we don't have schema or table, so you can ignore that. Next thing is clicking on the public. Here you get to check how to create tables. If you want to, simply click on create table and then do the rest. We will be doing this and we will be running some commands, and I will show you how to create the table, how to do the CRUD operation along with running the query, right? So you can do that. So for now, this is what we wanted to do at the first place. We wanted to connect CockroachDB and get it connected to Hasura platform so that we can later create GraphQL API. So the first part of this is covered. So hopefully you can try and replicate this, go through few steps back, check it again, and then see if everything works for you.